We're going to get right into business, everybody. I'm James Sampson, and I'm here with a message. I'm here to talk to you today. Uh, I wanted to start at the most appropriate pace is the beginning, which we know is Genesis. And I'm going to take everybody, let's start right. We're going to go right to Genesis 2. We know in the second chapter here that the world's been created, God has rested, and now we're talking about man and woman. We're talking about Adam and Eve. Now I want to hurry up and speed you down. If you know the story, man is created. He's given work. He's given rules, and then let's get down to he's given woman, and then early on it says, let me show this here. Let me back it up. Let me get it right. All right. Now we down here at let's find the verse. We're at the end of chapter 2. It says, this is why man leaves his father and mother and united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Here's what I want everybody to focus on. Right after that, it says, Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. So that is what you're going to see. The very last phrase, sentence, at the end of verse number 2 in Genesis, at the beginning where I'm starting with y'all, says that they were joined together. So they had all the fun, they had a good time. And then they make a point, the end of the verse was saying that they were naked and they felt no shame. All right. Now, I want to fast forward you to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. It's called the fall. Look at what it says. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say you must not eat from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die. You will not certainly die, the serpent said to the woman, for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and then both of their eyes were open, and they realized, stop right there. If we were to look in the dictionary, and I want you to, look in the dictionary at the definition of realize, it means to have now know something as a fact. F-A-C-T. Go back. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they realized they knew something as a fact. And what was it? That they were naked. If you go back to verse 2, it just said that they were naked and they had no shame. So now from this encounter with the snake, which is actually titled as the fall. So now after the encounter with the snake, and the snake telling them that if they were to eat from that tree, that they would have the same power as God has to be able to decipher good or evil, which is knowledge, they're saying, because the tree was called the tree of knowledge. Now, after they ate the fruit, it says that they put their clothes on because they realized, meaning they knew something now as a fact. That means they have consciousness. That means that some learning went on when they ate that fruit of knowledge, right? So the snake said that they would have power like God. That's what he said. So let's see what happens. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. The man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he's walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord God among trees of garden. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." Earlier in chapter 2, he had no shame about being naked. Now, after the encounter with the snake, he has consciousness that he's naked. I'm going to stop right there. It reminds me of a movie. Anybody who's seen Planet of the Apes, the first one, think about what that movie showed and went on to be Caesar, how he led the other apes, how he drunk the fluid that gave him this incredible wisdom and know-how of what to do. And in that movie, they show a scene where Caesar and his owner, when his owner got him, raised him up, fed him, took care of him, loved him, in the house, they had they showed them just having a good time. You know, they had show one time where Caesar jumped out and went after somebody, but for the most part, they was having a good time until what happened? Caesar and Adam and Eve, there was an encounter with a snake, but then Caesar had an encounter with another dog. He was walking through the park with his owner to that big old tree, and he saw his owner was carrying him with his now girlfriend with a leash on, right? Now, the dog had a leash on too with his owner. So Caesar saw that, and he said, So he asked his owner, he started signing to him. He said, am I a pet? And his owner like, nah, you kind of like not a pet, woo-woo. But what happened was he had a moment of consciousness, just like Adam and Eve had when they had that fruit. All right, now let's go back. All right. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." And he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" See, God already knew. He like, this man got knowledge now. How did you know? Who told you you were naked? Before, also when you think about nakedness, think about how animals have no shame in walking around naked. Why? What separates us is our consciousness, our minds, our ability to work outside of our bodies. I don't think animals can do that. So the man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it." Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is it this have you done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." So the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this," and then they cursed him, and then let's keep going. That's where the snake caught a life sentence. You're gonna be on your belly. I'm just continuing past the same verse. That's kind of like, they giving him the blues there. Now, to Adam, he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded, you must not eat from it." He's giving Adam his punishment here. I really want to get to the end. Here it is. Down here, and his wife clothed them. And the Lord God said, "The man has now become like one of us." Who said that? The Lord God said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever." So if I stop right there, we got through it. That's pretty interesting because at the end of the verse, even though it says the fall, when they ate that fruit, God admitted himself that, hey, now man and woman is like us. He's like us. Meaning that now that if man has tasted knowledge and knows if he pursues that, what can come from that? What's going to come from that is having the discernment, is what we would call it now. The discernment to know right from wrong. He did give him a punishment for the disobedience, but what man got out of that was the ultimate gift, which was you heard the story. You get where I'm going with this. Is I don't know. Was the snake the bad guy? That's my question. Was the snake the bad guy? The snake is the one who kind of told Adam and Eve, hey, y'all down here living like animals. If you start eating off of that tree called knowledge, if you start learning, you'll be like God. And God created the world. How did he create it? He had a vision of it first. So, and somewhere else it says vision, people without visions perish. So I think here in this Adam, once you start eating from the fruit of knowledge, no matter what it is, you guys had the opportunity to pick what you want to do, what you want to be knowledgeable in, but it won't hurt. It doesn't matter what it is. Pick anything and just start learning. And I think that's the true beginning of anything. So that's why I wanted to start there. Let me know what you think about it. Let's put it up for debate. Everybody, you can get in the comment section. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I don't know nothing. Tell me how my paper look. You know what I'm saying? It's fresh out the printer. It's still a little warm. But let me know what you think. Let me know. We'll be back. This was the beginning. I hope you guys like it. Have a good one. Like the video. You know what I mean? Give me some comments. Was the snake really the bad guy, or did he introduce consciousness? Let me know.